Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing amazing today. I'd just like to remind everyone that YouTube is the only platform that I'm currently using. If you happen to find these videos elsewhere or asking for donations of any kind, please kindly report it to the website that you found it on, or you can contact me anonymously. I'd appreciate that. I just don't want anyone getting scammed. All right, that being said, let's begin. Today's message is from Source, God the Most High. Okay, very important message. And the message is desensitization. Okay, if I could say that correctly, excuse me if I said it wrong, is the downfall of our society. Okay, now what does that mean? Source wants everyone to understand that we have been uh, indoctrinated to be desensitized to the pain and suffering of others, whether that's the planet, whether that's other human beings, whether that's animals. We have been desensitized, and it is contributing to the downfall of society throughout the entire planet. Okay, now what does that mean? It means that when we have been taught that others don't have feelings, that animals don't have feelings, that the planet doesn't have feelings, it almost conditions us to believe that these things are less than us. And human beings, unfortunately, most human beings are narcissistic by nature, thinking they're above everything when we're not. That's the bottom line. And that's a big part of the problem. Personally, when I pass by that lobster tank in the supermarket, I feel bad for those animals because they're trapped in a situation that they didn't ask for. Yet, people still consume them. They throw them in pots of boiling water, not thinking twice of it. And I often ask people to think about how would you feel if you were that lobster and somebody threw you into a pot of boiling water and closed the lid so you couldn't get out? And why do people do that? Because you have been desensitized to believe that lobsters feel no pain, which they are now discovering as inaccurate. But this is something that I always knew. If it wasn't feeling any pain, why, when it's in that pot, is it trying to escape and get out? Okay? And yet people heartlessly sit there and either throw the animal into that boiling water or they sit by, and watch the animal in the boiling water because they want to feed their stomachs off of the flesh of a dead animal. Okay? And that's one of the situations that, that's one of the examples that, Source wanted me to use today to get people thinking. This is also done with animals when you see animals outside, animals that are freezing, hungry in the cold, whether they be a pet, whether they be a wild animal. When we sit there and do nothing to assist them, okay, we are being taught to be desensitized, okay, to the suffering, the plight of those other living souls which deserve to live just as much as we all do. They were all given a soul. Unfortunately, the vessel they inhabit does not enable them to speak for themselves. So it's important for us to speak for those who are being mistreated. Okay, that includes people, the American Indian. Okay, uh, immigrants that have come to our land. People have been desensitized to view them as being lower or less than themselves or less than human. Okay, like I said before, every soul has a right to exist. Nobody is better than the other, and that includes me. Okay, I consider myself equal along everyone else, but I also understand that everyone needs to be treated with respect and love and dignity. Everyone deserves that. Okay, there are many people out there that continually eat veal. Okay, not giving a shit about the plight that that animal suffers, being taken away from its mother at birth, and it knows nothing but being locked in a small container, not able to move. And yet, people continue to support that. And this is where the problem with society lies. People have been indoctrinated to be desensitized to the pain and the plight of other living souls. When you refuse to recycle, you're not helping the earth that supplies you, Mother Gaia, who lives for you. Recycling is important. Taking care of the earth is important, just like taking care of all the living creatures upon the planet is important. Everything serves a purpose. Okay, we have a very delicate ecosystem. And when people pay no attention or no mind to these things, that's when the destruction of society begins and it leads us to where we are now. Okay. Not to get political because I don't choose any political side, because I think they all suck in my opinion, but that's my opinion. But anyway, just as an example, there's a war going on that many people are for, because these are all terrorists that deserve to be killed. When it's not true, not everybody who lives in the Middle East is a terrorist. Okay? But yet, people are desensitized. You are propagandized to believe, okay, that there are others that are less than you. And who's contributing to all these wars and this nonsense? The ultra rich that you support through your taxes, okay, through your everyday existence, while they tell you you need to suffer, while they're all out living the life of Riley, improving their lives off of every bit of destruction they cause out there. For them, this is just another opportunity to get land. It has nothing to do with what you think. Whatever you've been told is just nothing but propaganda. Okay, they've created a situation, and the situation, especially this one, obviously, was to, divert the attention from what was being exposed previously that politicians didn't want exposed. Okay, and we all know what that story is. And Source is very immediate in saying this, Terry One. Everyone needs to wake up to what's happening out there. Everyone really needs to wake up because this is a serious matter and we're going down the shitter quick. We really are. It's time that we all start speaking out for those who can't speak for themselves. It's time that we start speaking out in the face of injustice and not have fear. It's important not to have fear because that is what the controllers want. They want you to have fear. And again, there are negative energies out there that thrive off of your fear. Okay? They thrive off of your fear. You cannot show any fear. You have to push in the face of adversity. You have to. There are so many people out there that are trapped in fear or afraid to speak up when they know that something wrong is going on. Or they participate because people have told them to participate into doing wrongdoings against others that they don't even know. Okay? Again, Source wants everyone to understand there is consequences for this behavior. Okay? And it's happening. And it's not a punishment from God. Okay? Like most people would like you to believe. It's the negative energy that people are putting out there. And when that energy is returning to the earth and to the planet, it is causing chaos. It's wreaking chaos with the weather. It's causing instability. It's causing hatred. And the circle gets even more vicious because the more this continues, the more hatred and instability that happens, the more that gets created. And the more chaos that gets created because people are running around with fear, not, wondering what's going to happen next. They're glued to the news. Okay, especially cable news, which was the biggest corruption of all kind. It leads people, it directs people into what to do. Or they have you watching, your smartphones, looking at stupid TikTok videos, okay, which are nonsense, laughing at other people's misery, passing those things around. Videos telling you to swallow spoonfuls of cinnamon, dump buckets of ice water over your head, and yet people all follow suit. Source needs everyone to wake up and to stop following the crowd, okay? Because it's taken everyone down a very slippery slope. And we're on the edge. And yet people don't want to listen. They don't want to pay attention. They only want to care about themselves. They don't think about the next person. They don't think about the animal that's suffering. They don't think about the individual that's suffering in a war-torn land because they think it's not happening to them, so it's fine. Well, guess what? When it's done happening to them, where do you think it's going to happen next? And if you think it can't happen in your own country, you're being delusional. You're deluding yourself. Okay? All these things are deliberate. They're deliberate. They're deliberately done to desensitize people into thinking that they are above others. We are not. Okay? Including the creators out there of technology who think they're above, especially those creating, what I like to call artificial consciousness, not artificial intelligence. They're not creating that. They might be able to create the device, and God knows where they got the technology from, okay? Because it's not from their own intelligence, that's for damn sure. But this is where human beings think they're superior and they can use things for their advantage. And especially those who have a little more knowledge than others when it comes to technology. They use that to manipulate others. Hence, your smartphone. You're being manipulated. You can't run 2 minutes without that phone. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong where people cannot, it's an addiction. And people don't even want to see that. When did it become normal to sit there and tell everybody your business wherever you went, what you do, what you ate? Who gives a shit what restaurant you're at? Why is it so important to tell people that? And I'm going to tell you why. Because you need to feel superior to others. You want everyone to look at you. It creates the very narcissistic behaviors that everyone uh, feels wants to repel. Okay, excuse me for my fragmented speech because this happens a lot of times when I'm channeling because they don't want these messages to come out, and I have to fight that. That's another thing. I'm under constant attack, spiritual and otherwise. Okay, but it's cool because I can deal with it. Okay, I was given the strength to deal with this, so I can deliver these messages for people who really want to pay attention and listen. I can't be here for everyone. I can't save everyone. And that's not my goal because I know that's impossible. I would love to, but again, everyone has free will. You can either listen to this message or you can turn the channel off. It's up to you. But those who listen and those who understand, if you know, you know, maybe you might be under the circumstance because you were, indoctrinated to believe the propaganda. And that's okay, that's normal. But if you receive this message, maybe it gives you something to think about, and maybe you could realize that what you were taught isn't okay. You know, abusing things is not okay. Attacking people because you had a bad life or bad experiences is not okay. It's not. There's no justification. Source wants me to talk about bullfighting now. Bullfighting is not okay. Okay, it is not entertainment to watch an animal be slowly tortured. And when you think that people pay for tickets to watch this kind of disgusting behavior, it's actually sickening because it shows you where human beings are at. It shows you the road that we have brought ourselves to, and it's leading to a road of destruction. So this is why it's so important for us to wake up to what's happening and to learn to be a voice for the voiceless and to learn to speak out. Stand up for yourself. Love yourself enough to speak out against injustice, not just for those who are being abused, but for yourself. For your willingness to want to have a better life for yourself, for your loved ones. Okay? Because it's getting to a point that it's going to be irreversible. And yet, everyone is still stuck in their cell phone. Okay? Can't live without the cell phone. Look at the way the kids are today with that smartphone, excuse me. When I was a kid, we had the best time growing up, okay? We didn't have a lot. I grew up in the Bronx. It was cool. We had a great time. All the kids played together outside in the summer days. We weren't attached to a device. We communicated with each other. If somebody's mother's laundry line broke, that became the jump rope that all the kids played with, boys, girls, whatever, it didn't matter. We played stickball. We played Scully. We were outside until we were called to come in. That's what a normal childhood should be about, okay? Not having gatherings where everyone's on a different device. They don't even communicate with each other anymore because they are slowly and systematically being robbed, not only of their childhood, but of their essence, their soul. And yet the parents are allowing this. To me, allowing a child should having a cell phone is a travesty, and it's bad parenting. And I don't care if you find that to be nasty for me to say that. It's the truth, whether somebody likes it or not. It's bad parenting. It's because you don't want to be a parent. You want to put a cell phone in front of your kid. There's no need for a 2-year old to have a cell phone. There's not even a need for an adult to have a cell phone to be on all day long. When did we come to this part of society that we've achieved? When? When did it all start? We managed years ago without phones in our hands. Why can't we do so today? Because you have been indoctrinated to believe that you need that device and that you're a nobody if you don't have it. And there's people standing online waiting for the next new smartphone to be out there, willing to put themselves in debt for a phone. It's no different. And many of you with that phone who don't think that's an addiction, you would criticize someone who has a drug addiction for doing the same. It's no different. It's an addiction, and we need to wake up from it. We need to wake up before it's too late. Okay, we're going to leave everything at that, and I want to wish everyone well, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.